have one of these hard drives, 3 terabytes, 4 terabytes, 5 terabytes, greater, trying to figure out what's happening, you probably formatted MBR, don't know how to access more than 2.2 terabytes, this is the episode for you. So just hold on, I'll get to who I am and then explain how to get all of that done. My name is Steve Smith, this is TQA Weekly, and if ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, you can email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can use the contact form to email me directly, interact with others on past episodes I've done before, go to the subscribe page to see how to follow me on social networks, and other ways to subscribe to this show. And of course, if you're already on YouTube, blip.tv, or Vimeo, you can always post down below. So on this episode, I'm going to be talking about, 3 terabyte hard drives. I did my experimentation on a Seagate hard drive, and I have a bunch of Western Digital 3 terabyte hard drives. And one of the many reasons why I have drives is I actually make videos for YouTube, do coding, play a lot of games, and I need a lot of space for my stuff because I have a lot of music, I have a lot of videos, I have a lot of the videos I made for my own show, and that takes place. Right now I'm at almost 5 years of episodes does take a lot of space on a hard drive. If you're a downloader or create your own videos or stock a lot of photography because you're a photographer, you have probably come up to a point where you need hard drive space. But chances are you're watching this episode if you're not a regular subscriber because you got one of those drives, tried to partition it, and realized you can't get more than 2.2 terabytes out of it, and you're probably freaking out. Because during my experimentation, I wanted to see just how easy it was for anybody to figure out the instructions. And man, is it not easy. It's actually really not all that evident for anybody to actually figure out what the instruction set is. Because a bunch of places will tell you that you need to initialize the drive as the brand new GPT partition, which, first of all, is not supported by Windows XP. It is a strictly Vista on type of partition, but it's also not supported by normal BIOSes as a boot drive. So if you did make it a GPT hard drive, you probably realize you can't install Windows on it if you don't have a modern UEFI BIOS at the same time, since it's actually part of that specific standard. So before you freak out, the instructions are actually simpler than trying to find them on Google. So first of all, a lot of the instructions do not take into account that you probably already initialized the hard drive and are freaking out. So you already have an MBR disk. MBR is actually locked at a maximum of 2.2 terabytes, and for anybody old enough to know, that's actually talking a lot, considering that drives used to be smaller than that and couldn't even pass much more than a few hundred gigs. Now we can get 2.2 terabytes out of a drive, but now we have drives that actually surpass that. It's basically a cat and mouse game. So first, you'll go into your computer and you'll go up to this PC, which is where all the hard drives are at. You'll right click it, click manage, and then you'll go to the disk management part of that screen, and you will look for the ID number of your brand new hard drive that is making you freak out. The reason that you need the number and the reason why other companies don't write it on their website is they're going to assume you know this. You won't. It can be 0, 1, 2, and on. So let's say the drive is 2 because I chose the number 2 in my show notes, so I might as well stay the same. So the theory is that the drive is number 2. Well, you'll close that window now. And if you're using Vista on Word, you'll use the Run tool, unless you're using Windows 8.1 or Windows 8, in which case you will click the same thing. It's called Disk Part. This part loads a DOS-like interface. In this DOS-like interface, you will type the following: select disk 2. Remember, if your number is different, you're going to type that number, not number 2. If you make a mistake, keep in mind that this part will not eliminate your Windows boot drive. It will tell you it is before doing so, and it won't allow you to do that anyway. After you hit enter on this command, it will tell you it has selected that drive. Now the next command which will eliminate any partition on there. So for those listening for the how to remove a partition table from your drive, the command is clean. Then you just type enter. Well, click on enter anyway. The hard drive is now cleaned. You'll close that window. You can type in exit or just hit the X in the corner as usual, and you will go back to where you got the ID number of the drive. So this PC, right click, click manage, then go to disk management, select that drive. Oh wait, that's true. There's something different. This time, you will have the option of choosing between MBR, which is limited to 2.2 terabytes, and the GPT, or guide partition table, which can actually go further than 2.2 terabytes. It will allow you to format drives significantly larger than that. Keep in mind, you can put that brand new partition table even onto smaller hard drives because it will actually take up less space than MBR does. Once you initialize the hard drive, you will be able to do anything you previously were able to do with an MBR drive, except maybe booting up from it if you do not have a UEFI BIOS. As part of my experimentation, I took out an Acronis tool to actually clone a MBR partition onto a GPT partitioned hard drive and succeeded with doing that with no loss of data whatsoever. So for those wanting to clone a hard drive, but the hard drive being bigger than 2.2 terabytes, it is in fact possible to create a GPT partitioned hard drive, clone an MBR partition onto a GPT hard drive, and have no loss of data because the partition that you're transferring over is probably NTFS and not the table itself. So I hope this helps you all out and that you'll actually be able to relax a little bit more. And for those interested in MBR and GPT and all that, there's a large resource of information available on Wikipedia, and you can read about what I talked about and even the instructions on the show notes at tqaweekly.com/se5ep25. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. If you think somebody else can benefit from this, share this episode with them before they have a heart attack. And of course, like, dislike, comment down below, and have a great day.